Okay, I've got this set up for Andy primarily. I may or may not share it. We'll see. Andy gets it, I know. What I've got is a board with the latest code, and I made some changes, the latest sketch, and I made some changes to the data files. I've put the sound of steam in place of the ding or the bell, and I switched the sequence of the steam and the shoveling coal at the wake up. Okay, used to, when you wake up, you'd hear steam and then shoveling coal, channel 1 and channel 0. Channel 0 was the steam and channel 1 was shoveling. So I switched them, so channel 0 is shoveling, channel 1 is steam, to see how that plays. Yeah, isn't that nice? Steam, then shovel, exactly the same. So changing channel 0 sound wave file and channel 1 sound wave channel didn't change the sequence of which one is coming in. Now I don't know if that means they're just playing the smallest one, the one that comes first from memory, or what, but I thought that was weird. So here is the chuff button. Okay, here's the was the bell, now it's steam button. Barely hear it. Now if I hold it, it repeats. There's a little delay and then it repeats. Okay, so instead of the bell, this was supposed to be in reverse. I'm backing up. Ding, ding, ding. You hear steam. Okay, this button without a button knob is a whistle. A real steam engine whistle. If you hold it, it will also play continuous. Now the idea for these sounds were, when the engine's in reverse, we have a backup light at the back of the tender. I put a second backup light inside the tender, and I had a sensor that was light activated tied to this button. So when that light came on, the bell would start to play, and that light came on when the engine was in reverse. So the idea was, when the engine was backing up, you would have the bell ringing to, well, watch out, here I come. Then the whistle is really difficult to have a button you press on the engine. So I wanted a remote switch, but I didn't want it to be complicated. So we put in a simple magnetic reed switch. And then you can set a magnet down in the track. It'll actually attach to the ties, the metal ties of the track if you're using high rail tin plate. But in any case, you put a magnet under the track, and that reed switch is going to be mounted to the bottom of the tender chassis. It'll be on the underside between the wheels. And so when that, say that's the magnet, as it drives over the magnet. Now, if you had another one right there, you'd get another steam whistle. So you could have the steam whistle on the track, like coming out of a tunnel, going into a station, coming out of a station, coming into a community, like crossings coming down. You could have the whistle right before that. That was the idea, okay? Oh, the other thing I wanted to point out was the addition of the fan here. So when you have the chuff, you also have the fan pulse. I have the circuitry in here, little transistor and some resistors. I wanted to make sure this was coming out of this. This breadboard is going to stay alive. We're going to change CPUs maybe, but it's going to be here and be in use for quite some time. I think this is going to be testing for everything. So now what we're going to do is hold the steam down and pretend we're chuffing as we back up. It generally works, but then you hear every once in a while it starts cracking up. One, it changes the steam sound. It's the same sound, as Andy educated me on. The bell doesn't change bells. It's the same bell, just a different sound because something's going on. So the steam sound changes, and eventually we started getting crackle and noise and screeching. So it gets confused. Now the interesting thing is when I did that with the whistle, steam whistle, like I'm coming out of the station, gonna have a little chuff. Speeding up a little bit. Absolutely nothing happens to the whistle. It doesn't change tone, it doesn't screw up, it doesn't turn into screeching. But I don't know. Okay, we're trying to change the shape of the sound files. We're trying to verify we have them all configured properly, the right, all the things that are on there. I can't remember them all, but you know, the decibels, the I don't know what all. There's several things that you can change on them as a parameter, making sure they're all, whatever the whistle is, they all should be the same because it's working fine with the chuff that we have. And see, I'm struggling a couple of things here. I'm making the brackets for the infrared because Andy felt the infrared would give us a better signal, and it did not. The infrared still had this thing going on. I went ahead and changed the infrared from the limit switch because I understood limit switch bounce could be a problem. That made sense. I got rid of my finger drum piece because I knew that could be a problem. So we don't have the fingers involved anymore, which is a sad thing, but that's okay. Although it's funny to have fingers on Next Generation. But anyway, so we're fixing and tuning as we can. This is going to be the test piece. And we're working to get this as good as we can. And given that we have a few customers that want one of these things, what I'm thinking I may do is just not include the bell. I may just have the whistle and the chuff, and that's it. And then as we learn and figure why or whatever, maybe we can't, maybe it's terminal, I don't know. We would, with software updates, it would be easy to put in the proper files and make the bell work again. Those are some options. You guys can talk it over and let me know if you have thoughts on that. I have the stray wire in there that just doesn't need to be. Okay, there's another one. Oh, I know what for. That was for that. Okay. Any rate, update. This is for Andy. You heard the noises. I'm working on the sounds still, so put that in the back of your head and let that mash around, and we can talk later. You other guys, tell me what you think about not having the bell if we can't get there faster.